All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into handyman interviews.
Okay.
You ready for a new job, right? And we are here to help you totally nail it.
Yep.
We've got a whole stack of RoleCatcher resources with us today. Their career guides, their interview guides, even stuff on how their AI can help tailor your answers.
Yeah, that's a game changer.
It's going to give you a real edge here.
Absolutely.
I think it's more than just nailing the interview though, too, right? It's about understanding this career path as a whole.
For sure.
So let's just jump right in.
Let's do it.
First up, what does a handyman do beyond just fixing things?
Yeah, it's more than just fixing a leaky faucet.
Right.
That's the stereotype.
Right.
But RoleCatcher's career guide, it really emphasizes it's about maintaining these whole building systems, from plumbing to electrical to HVAC, ensuring safety and functionality.
Yeah, big responsibility.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that responsibility kind of shines through in the first interview question we're going to look at today. Describe your experience working as a handyman.
Yeah.
They're not just looking for a list of every job you've done.
No.
They want to see the scope of your expertise, your problem-solving skills, your ability to handle all these diverse tasks.
Yeah, the breadth of your knowledge.
Yeah. So how do you showcase that expertise without sounding like you're just rattling off your resume?
Yeah, you don't want to just read off the bullet points.
Right.
You really want to focus on the core abilities that RoleCatcher outlines.
Okay.
So things like equipment maintenance, troubleshooting, repairing.
Yeah.
Think of specific examples that really demonstrate those skills. So have you ever had to diagnose a really tricky electrical problem? Or did you come up with a creative solution for a plumbing issue? Those stories are really what make your experience come alive for the interviewer.
Right, because it's not just oh yeah, I've fixed leaky faucets before. It's oh, remember that time where the faucet was doing this and then I had to do this and this is how I fixed it.
Exactly. Storytelling is key in interviews.
Totally. Now, RoleCatcher's career stage breakdowns.
Yeah.
I think those can be super helpful here.
Oh, for sure.
Especially for someone with less experience.
Right.
Maybe they're just starting out.
Absolutely. They provide insights into what's expected at different career levels.
Okay.
So, for example, an entry-level handyman, they might focus on assisting more experienced colleagues, learning the ropes.
Yeah.
A junior handyman,
they
might be tackling tasks independently.
Okay.
But still under supervision.
Got it.
Understanding these stages helps you tailor your answer to the specific level of the job you're applying for.
So it's about aligning your experience with what they're actually looking for.
Exactly.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Yeah.
Let's move on to another common interview question.
Right.
How do you prioritize tasks when given multiple requests from clients?
Oh, yeah.
This one always feels like a bit of a trick question to me.
It definitely can be. It's really about showcasing your critical thinking skills and your ability to assess situations quickly. So you always want to think about safety first.
Okay.
Are there any urgent issues that could pose a risk if they're not addressed immediately?
Like a burst pipe or something.
Exactly. Then consider the impact of each task. Will delaying one cause a major inconvenience for the client?
Yeah.
And then finally factor in your own schedule and resources.
Okay.
So it's a balancing act.
So it's finding that balance between urgency client needs and what you can actually do.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to walk the interviewer through your thought process.
Okay.
For example, you could say something like, if a client had a burst pipe and a flickering light, I'd obviously prioritize the burst pipe due to the potential for water damage.
Right.
Then you can explain how you would communicate with the client about the flickering light, schedule it in, and ensure they understand the reasoning behind your prioritization.
So you're hitting on problem-solving skills and communication skills all at once.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about staying up to date. RoleCatcher asks, how do you stay up to date on new techniques and technologies in your field? It's not just about knowing how to fix things the old-fashioned way anymore, right?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
The field is constantly evolving new tools. Materials, best practices are always emerging.
Right.
Interviewers want to see that you're a lifelong learner, that you're committed to professional growth.
So how do you showcase that commitment?
Yeah.
I mean, reading Popular Mechanics, I feel like that's a good start.
That's a good start.
But what else impresses interviewers?
Think about professional development courses.
Okay.
Maybe a certification in plumbing or electrical work. Online resources are great, too.
Like what?
Things like This Old House, Bob Vila.
Okay, yeah.
And don't forget about industry events and trade shows.
Oh, yeah.
Attending those shows that you're actively seeking out new knowledge, and you're connecting with other professionals.
Right, you're like in the thick of it.
Exactly.
Okay, and I bet RoleCatcher's adjacent career guides could offer some insights into some specialized areas to explore.
They absolutely can.
Like if you want to get into HVAC or something.
Exactly. For example, if you're interested in HVAC, those guides can provide valuable information on the latest trends in heating and cooling systems.
Right.
Or if you're drawn to more specialized areas like carpentry or welding, they can point you in the right direction for further training and certification.
So it's like this roadmap for expanding your skills and exploring all these different paths within this field.
It's like a choose-your-own adventure for your career.
I love that. Okay, let's get into problem solving now.
Okay.
The question is, describe your process for troubleshooting and problem solving.
Yeah.
It's tempting to just list all the tools in your toolbox.
Right.
But what are interviewers really after here?
It's not about the tools themselves, it's about your approach.
Okay.
They want to see that you have a systematic, logical way of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So think of yourself as like a detective.
Okay.
You start by gathering information. Okay.
Observing the problem, asking questions. Then you form a hypothesis, and you test different solutions.
Yeah.
Adapting your approach based on the results.
Okay.
It's a combination of logic experience and a willingness to experiment.
So it's about demonstrating your thought process, not just listing solutions.
Exactly.
Okay, now how do you convey that effectively in an interview setting?
Use a specific example.
Okay.
Think of a time that you faced a particularly challenging repair.
Like what?
Maybe a plumbing issue that had you stumped at first.
Okay.
Walk the interviewer through the steps you took to diagnose the problem,
Uh-huh.
how you tested different solutions, and how you ultimately arrived at the right fix.
Okay.
Emphasize your ability to think critically, to adapt to those unexpected challenges,
Yeah.
and to communicate clearly with the client throughout the process.
So again, you're hitting on communication problem solving. You're bringing it all together.
It's all connected.
Okay. That's a great way to bring your problem solving skills to life and make a memorable impression.
Yeah, you want to stand it. And speaking of making an impression, I know a lot of people get nervous about the difficult client question.
Oh, yeah. That's a tough one.
RoleCatcher phrases it as, how do you handle difficult or challenging clients? Everyone's had them.
For sure.
But interviewers don't want to hear you complaining.
Right. They want to see that you can stay professional under pressure, empathize with the client's concerns, and find solutions that work for everyone.
Okay.
So think about keywords like active listening,
Okay.
conflict resolution, communication skills.
Okay.
Use those words naturally as you describe your approach.
So instead of saying, like, I just try to stay calm,
Right.
you could say something like, I actively listen to the client's concerns, trying to understand their perspective, even if I don't agree with it.
Perfect. That shows you're not just trying to avoid conflict. You're actively seeking to resolve it in a professional and respectful way.
Okay.
And this is where RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be incredibly helpful. You can input your draft answers,
Okay.
and their AI will analyze them, suggesting ways to incorporate those keywords and ensure you're hitting all the right notes.
It's like having a personal interview coach in your pocket.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, before we move on, I want to emphasize that confidence and enthusiasm are contagious.
Oh, they are for sure.
Like, when you believe in yourself and your abilities, the interviewer will believe in you too.
It's a huge difference.
Okay, now let's dive into another crucial aspect of being a handyman.
Okay.
Safety.
Yes.
RoleCatcher asks, how do you ensure the safety of yourself and others while working on a job site? This goes beyond common sense, right?
Absolutely. It's about demonstrating a deep understanding of safety regulations and a proactive approach to risk assessment. So think about your pre-job routine.
Okay.
Do you always inspect your equipment before starting?
Yeah.
Do you clearly mark off work areas to prevent accidents? Do you communicate potential hazards to anyone nearby? It's all about being proactive.
Yeah, what about personal protective equipment?
Oh, that's a must.
Yeah.
It's worth highlighting. Talk about the types of PPE you regularly use and why safety glasses, gloves, hearing protection.
Right.
And if you've ever used specialized equipment for specific tasks, like a respirator for dusty environments, definitely mention that.
Yeah.
It shows you take safety seriously in all situations.
Okay, now let's talk about time management.
Right.
RoleCatcher includes 2 related questions here.
Okay.
How do you manage your time and ensure you meet project deadlines? And how do you handle unexpected issues or changes to a project?
Those are good ones.
These 2 really go hand in hand.
Yeah. Because things don't always go according to plan in this line of work.
Right. You got to be flexible.
Exactly.
So it's not enough to just say, I'm organized.
Nope. You need to showcase your ability to plan effectively, adapt to changing circumstances, and communicate clearly with clients.
Communicate, communicate, communicate.
Always.
Okay, so what are some specific systems or approaches that can really demonstrate these skills?
So do you use a project management app to track tasks and deadlines?
Okay.
Do you break down large projects into smaller, manageable chunks?
Yeah.
Do you have a system for prioritizing urgent requests?
Mm-hmm.
Sharing those details gives the interviewer a concrete sense of your organizational skills and your ability to handle complex projects.
So it's about giving them the specifics, the proof that you can do these things.
Exactly.
And I bet RoleCatcher's AI feedback could be really helpful here.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for tailoring your answers to the specific job you're applying for.
Absolutely. Their AI can analyze your responses and suggest ways to highlight the skills and experience that are most relevant to the job description.
Okay.
It's like having a personal editor helping you craft the perfect interview answers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about tools.
Okay.
The question is, describe your experience working with different types of tools and equipment.
Yeah.
This one feels pretty straightforward.
It does.
But is there a way to elevate your answer beyond just listing everything you know how to use?
Absolutely. Instead of just rattling off a list, focus on the tools that are most relevant to the job you're applying for.
Okay.
And showcase your in-depth knowledge.
Give me an example.
For example, if the job requires a lot of plumbing work, talk about your experience with different pipe cutters, wrenches, soldering equipment.
Okay.
Explain how you choose the right tool for the job, how you maintain your tools, and any safety precautions you take.
So it's about demonstrating mastery, not just familiarity.
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you can tie in any experience with advanced tools or techniques, even better.
Like what?
Maybe you've used laser levels for precise measurements.
Okay.
Or you have experience with smart home technologies.
Uh-huh.
Highlight those skills.
Yeah.
It shows you're keeping up with the times and are comfortable incorporating new tools into your workflow.
Okay, now let's wrap up this section with a question that ties everything together. How do you ensure your work meets quality standards and is completed to the client's satisfaction?
Ah, the grand finale.
Yeah, this feels like the closing argument where you bring it all home.
It is. This is your chance to leave a lasting impression and showcase your pride in your work.
Okay.
Your attention to detail and your commitment to exceeding expectations.
So what are some, key points to hit here?
First and foremost, emphasize your meticulous approach to every job.
Okay.
Talk about how you double-check your work, you use high-quality materials, you follow industry best practices, give specific examples.
Like what?
Maybe you have a system for labeling and organizing your tools to ensure you always have the right one on hand. Or perhaps you take photos of your work at different stages to document your progress and ensure everything is up to code.
Okay, so you're giving them those visuals. You're painting that picture for them.
Exactly. And don't forget to highlight your communication skills.
Okay.
Mention how you actively seek client feedback throughout the project. You address any concerns promptly and professionally, and ensure the client is fully satisfied with the final result.
So it's about going above and beyond, not just meeting the bare minimum requirements.
Exactly. And if you have any systems in place to ensure quality, like providing written guarantees or offering follow-up inspections, definitely mention those.
Yeah, it shows you're thinking about all these different aspects.
It shows you care.
And I'm sure RoleCatcher's AI feedback could be really helpful for fine-tuning your answers.
Oh, absolutely.
And making sure you're hitting all the right notes.
Their AI can analyze your responses and suggest ways to strengthen your language, incorporate relevant keywords, and ensure your answers are tailored to the specific requirements of the job you're applying for.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it takes the guesswork out of it.
It really does. It sounds like RoleCatcher is an invaluable resource for anyone preparing for a handyman interview.
It truly is. Their combination of expert insights and AI-powered tools can give you a significant edge in the job search process.
Now, before we move on to the next section, I want to pose a question to our listener.
Okay.
Of all the core abilities that RoleCatcher outlines for a handyman, equipment, maintenance, repairing, troubleshooting, which one would you choose to focus on mastering even further?
That's a good one.
And why this is something to ponder as you continue your prep.
It gets to the heart of your strengths and your passions and where you see yourself excelling in this field.
And it reminds us that this deep dive is just the beginning of your journey.
Absolutely. There's always more to learn.
Exactly. RoleCatcher has a wealth of resources to guide you through every step.
Yeah, they do.
From interview prep to career advancement.
They've got you covered.
So stay tuned as we continue to explore the world of a handyman and equip you with the knowledge and strategies to succeed.
It's going to be good.
It is going to be good.
So let's kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about time management. This is a topic that can really make or break a project, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And RoleCatcher poses two really insightful questions here.
Okay.
How do you manage your time and ensure you meet project deadlines? And how do you handle unexpected issues or changes to a project?
Right. Those always pop up.
They do. They always pop up.
Yeah.
And they go hand in hand because, you know, things don't always go according to plan in this line of work, right?
You got to be flexible.
Exactly. Flexibility is key.
Okay.
So it's not just about being like a master scheduler. It's about being adaptable, being able to think on your feet.
So what are some like key words or phrases that show we can handle these situations professionally?
Flexibility is a big one for sure.
Okay.
Problem solving is essential, but also communication is huge.
Right.
Think about it. If a project hits a snag, the client doesn't want radio silence.
No, they want to know what's up.
Exactly. They want to know what's going on, what the options are, how you're going to make things right.
Okay, so being able to clearly explain the situation, present alternative solutions.
Right.
That shows we're not just like throwing our hands up in defeat.
Exactly. It shows you're proactive.
Okay, but how do we convey that in a way that really impresses the interviewer?
This is where RoleCatcher's tips for showcasing your capabilities come in.
Okay.
Having a project portfolio, even if it's just photos of past work, can be huge.
Really?
Yeah, it gives the interviewer tangible proof of your skills and organization.
Okay.
So imagine you're presenting a before and after of like a complex repair that speaks volumes about your ability to manage time and overcome challenges.
It's like a resume for your handiwork.
Exactly.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next question from RoleCatcher's Guide.
All right.
Describe your experience working with different types of tools and equipment.
Okay.
This one seems pretty straightforward.
It does.
But is there a way to make our answer really stand out?
Absolutely. Think about showcasing mastery of the essential tools.
Okay.
The ones that really demonstrate your skills.
Give me an example.
So instead of just saying, I know how to use a power drill,
Right.
talk about your experience with different drill bits, how you choose the right one for the job, the safety precautions you take.
Oh, I like that it's about showing like a deeper understanding of the tools, not just familiarity.
Exactly.
It's like the difference between knowing how to drive a car and knowing how to rebuild an engine.
Exactly. It's about that level of expertise.
Okay.
And if you can tie in any experience with like advanced tools or techniques, even better.
Okay, like what?
Maybe you've used laser levels for precise measurements, or you're familiar with the latest diagnostic tools for HVAC systems.
Okay.
Highlight those skills. It shows that you're keeping up with industry advancements and you're eager to embrace new technologies.
Speaking of new technologies, I'm curious, does RoleCatcher offer any insights into how AI is impacting the handyman field?
They do.
Really?
Yeah, they touch on that in their career guide.
Okay.
And their perspective is actually quite interesting.
What is it?
They see AI as a tool to empower handymen, not replace them.
Okay, good, because I think a lot of people are worried about robots taking over all the jobs.
I understand the concern, but RoleCatcher emphasizes that AI can actually enhance a handyman's skills and efficiency.
Okay.
For example, imagine using an AI-powered app to diagnose a complex electrical problem or to create like a detailed project schedule.
Okay.
It could save time, reduce errors, and allow you to focus on the more specialized aspects of the job.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
It's like having a virtual assistant to help you streamline your work.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it frees up your time and mental energy to focus on those tasks that really require human ingenuity and problem-solving skills.
Right, the things that AI can't replicate.
Exactly.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Good.
Now let's get back to the interview prep.
Okay.
The final question in RoleCatcher's Guide is all about quality and client satisfaction.
All right.
How do you ensure your work meets quality standards and is completed to the client's satisfaction?
That's a big one.
This feels like the closing argument, the chance to really leave a lasting impression.
You're absolutely right. This is where you want to showcase pride in your work.
Oh, okay.
Attention to detail, commitment to exceeding expectations.
Mm-hmm.
It's about demonstrating that you're not just there to complete a task.
Right.
You're there to provide a truly exceptional service.
Okay, so how do we convey all of that effectively?
Hmm.
What are some key points to hit here?
We'll start by emphasizing your meticulous approach to every job.
Okay.
Talk about how you double-check your work, you use high-quality materials, and you follow industry best practices.
Okay.
And give specific examples. Maybe you have a system for labeling and organizing your tools to ensure you always have the right one on hand.
Okay.
Or perhaps you take photos of your work at different stages to document your progress and ensure everything is up to code.
So again, you're painting that picture for the interviewer.
Exactly. Showing them how you approach your work with care and precision.
Precision is key. Okay, and don't forget to highlight those communication skills again.
Always.
Mention how you actively seek client feedback throughout the project.
Yes.
You address any concerns promptly and professionally. And ensure the client is fully satisfied with the final result. Right? To building that relationship with the client.
Exactly.
Making them feel heard and valued throughout the process.
It's all about that relationship.
Okay, but what if you encounter a client who's particularly demanding or difficult to please?
Okay.
How do you address that without sounding negative or complaining?
That's a great question. And it's something that RoleCatcher's AI feedback can be incredibly helpful with.
Oh, really?
Remember those keywords we talked about earlier?
Yeah.
Active listening, conflict resolution, communication skills. You can input your draft answers, and their AI will analyze them, suggesting ways to incorporate those keywords naturally.
Okay.
And showcase your ability to handle challenging situations with grace and professionalism.
It's like having a personal script editor for your interview answers.
Exactly. It can make a huge difference in how you come across to the interviewer. It's about presenting yourself as someone who is not only skilled and experienced, but also level-headed, adaptable, and able to navigate those inevitable challenges that arise in this line of work.
Right. You're the full package.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of challenges, I'm curious, does RoleCatcher offer any advice on how to handle, like, the physical demands of being a handyman?
They do.
Okay.
It's a job that requires a lot of stamina and strength.
Yeah, you're on your feet all day.
Exactly. They touch on that in their career guide.
Okay.
Emphasizing the importance of physical fitness and safety.
Okay.
They recommend incorporating regular exercise and stretching into your routine to maintain strength and flexibility.
Makes sense.
And they also stress the importance of using proper lifting techniques and wearing appropriate safety gear to prevent injuries.
Safety first. Okay, that's great advice. It's a reminder that taking care of your physical well-being is essential for a long and successful career as a handyman.
Absolutely. And it shows potential employers that you're committed to your craft and you're taking proactive steps to ensure your longevity in the field.
Right. It's like you're invested.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, I know a lot of handymen eventually start their own businesses.
Yeah, that's a common path.
Does RoleCatcher offer any resources for those who are interested in, like, entrepreneurship?
They do. Their Career Compass feature includes a section on starting and running your own handyman business.
Oh, cool.
It covers topics like marketing, pricing, legal considerations, and financial management.
Wow.
So it's a great resource for anyone who dreams of being their own boss.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It sounds like RoleCatcher truly is a one-stop shop for all things handyman related.
It really is, whether you're just starting out in your career or you're looking to take your skills to the next level. RoleCatcher has the resources and tools to guide you on your journey.
Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive,
I
want to circle back to a point we made earlier about staying up to date with industry trends. RoleCatcher's adjacent career guides highlight some interesting paths.
Yeah.
Like refrigeration, air conditioning, and heat pump technician, even drafting and installation supervision.
Those are great examples.
So it's not just about being a jack of all trades.
Right.
You can really niche down and become an expert in something specific.
Exactly. And that can open up new opportunities, potentially higher pay, and a more focused career path.
It's like choosing your own adventure within the world of handyman work.
I like that.
Okay, now before we wrap up this section, I want to touch on something that I think a lot of people are curious about.
Okay.
The role of technology in the future of the handyman profession.
That's a fascinating topic, and it's one that RoleCatcher addresses in their career guide.
What do they say?
They believe that technology, particularly AI, will play an increasingly important role in the handyman field, but not in the way that some people fear.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a misconception that robots are going to take over all the jobs, leaving handymen out of work.
Yeah.
But RoleCatcher's perspective is more nuanced. They see AI as a tool to augment human skills, not replace them.
Okay, so it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Imagine using AI-powered tools to diagnose complex problems, create detailed project schedules, or even communicate with clients in real time.
Yeah.
These tools could free up handymen to focus on the more specialized aspects of their work.
Right.
The tasks that require human creativity, problem-solving skills, and a personal touch.
That's a very optimistic outlook.
Yeah.
It suggests that the handyman profession, far from being threatened by technology, will actually be enhanced by it.
That's precisely RoleCatcher's point. They believe that by embracing new technologies, handymen can not only improve their efficiency and productivity, but also expand their skill sets and open up new career opportunities.
That's inspiring. It's a reminder that the handyman profession is full of possibilities for those who are willing to adapt, learn, and grow.
Absolutely, and RoleCatcher is there every step of the way.
Yeah.
Providing the resources, insights, and tools to help handymen thrive in this ever-evolving field.
Now, before we move on to our final thoughts and wrap up this deep dive, let's take a quick break to refresh and come back ready to explore some key takeaways for our listener. All right, so we've covered like a ton of ground here in this deep dive into the world of handyman interviews.
We really have.
We broke down those like tricky questions.
Yeah.
We explored like the core skills and qualities that those interviewers are looking for. We even touched on some pretty exciting career paths.
Yeah.
And like the role of technology in the future of the profession.
The future is now.
Right? And we highlighted how RoleCatcher's resources, particularly their AI-powered tools, can really help you tailor your answers, showcase those skills, and stand out from the crowd.
Absolutely. You want to shine.
But it's time to bring it all together now.
Okay.
Distill some key takeaways for our listener. So what are the most important things to remember as you prepare for your handyman interview?
I think the overarching theme here is preparation. And presentation. You need to not only possess the skills and experience, but also know how to articulate them effectively and confidently.
It's not enough to just be good at what you do.
Right.
You have to be able to talk about it.
You got to be able to sell yourself.
Yeah, and that's where RoleCatcher's resources come in.
Absolutely. They're interview guides. They provide these awesome insights into what interviewers are really looking for. And their AI-powered tools can help you really fine-tune those answers. Make sure you're hitting all the right notes.
Speaking of hitting the right notes, let's recap some of the key points we've covered. First and foremost, it's crucial to showcase your understanding of the handyman profession as more than just fixing things.
Right. It's bigger than that. It's about maintaining building systems, ensuring safety.
Providing a comprehensive service to clients.
It's the whole package deal.
Exactly.
And it's also important to tailor your answers to the specific level of the job you're applying for. Whether it's entry-level, junior, senior.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
RoleCatcher's career stage breakdowns. Those can be a great resource for understanding those distinctions.
For sure.
So you don't want to oversell or undersell your experience.
Exactly. You want to strike that balance.
Now let's talk about problem solving for a second. It's not enough to just list the tools in your toolbox. You need to demonstrate your systematic approach. Your ability to think critically and adapt to unexpected challenges.
Yeah, you want to be a problem solver.
So think of yourself as a detective. Gathering information.
I like that analogy.
Forming hypotheses, testing solutions until you find the right fix.
Like a puzzle.
And don't be afraid to walk the interviewer through your thought process.
Yeah, be articulate. Using those specific examples to illustrate your skills.
Show, don't tell.
Right.
The key.
And communication is so key.
Always.
Whether you're explaining your prioritization process, addressing safety concerns, or handling a difficult client.
Communication is essential.
It's crucial to be clear, concise, and professional. So remember those key words. Active listening, conflict resolution, communication skills.
Those are good ones.
And just use them naturally in your answers.
Yeah, weave them in.
And don't forget the importance of staying up to date with those industry trends and technologies.
The industry's constantly evolving.
So mentioning relevant certifications, online resources, professional development courses shows that you're committed to lifelong learning.
Absolutely.
And are eager to embrace those new advancements.
You want to be on the cutting edge.
And if you're interested in specializing in a particular area, like HVAC or carpentry, RoleCatcher's adjacent career guides, Can provide some valuable insights and guidance there.
They're a great resource.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Okay.
I want to leave our listener with a final thought-provoking question.
All right, I like it.
What is the one skill or quality that you believe will be most essential for handymen in the future?
Ooh, that's a good one. It really gets to the heart of how this profession is evolving.
Right.
And what it'll take to succeed in the years to come.
Is it adaptability?
Maybe.
Technological proficiency?
Could be.
Communication skills?
Possibly.
Or something else entirely?
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a combination of all those things, but with a strong emphasis on adaptability.
Okay.
Because the world is changing so rapidly.
Right.
Technology is advancing at like an unprecedented pace.
It is.
And the handyman profession is going to need to keep pace with that.
So it's not just about mastering the skills of today.
Nope.
It's about being open to new ideas.
Yes.
Embracing those new technologies.
Yeah.
And constantly evolving your approach to meet those demands of the future.
You got to stay ahead of the curve.
And that's what makes this profession so exciting.
It is. It's always changing.
It's a field that's constantly challenging you to learn, grow, and adapt.
And the rewards are immense.
Yeah.
Both personally and professionally.
That's a great point. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have.
But we hope you've gained some valuable insights and practical tips to help you ace that next handyman interview.
Go get 'em.
Good luck out there. We're confident you'll nail it.
I am too.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's there to support you every step of the way.
Yes, they are.
With their expert resources and AI-powered tools.
Absolutely.
Check out the link in the show notes to explore all they have to offer.
Do it.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep building your dream career.
See you next time.